Hello and welcome to The Absolute Mom. Today I am participating in the Homeschool Show and Tell collaboration with Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from the Waldock Way. And in March we are sharing our favorite read alouds or our favorite reading books that we have done. If you're new here, I want to go ahead and I want to introduce myself. My name is Jamie and I am a working homeschool mama to 4 beautiful children. I have a 4-year-old, 6-year-old twins, and then I also have an 11-year-old. So a big portion of our homeschool and our family life is reading. And whether that's independent reading or reading aloud as a family, we have so many great memories surrounded around cuddling with a book. So for this collaboration, I literally went to our bookshelf and I looked at what books we have really enjoyed the most within this past year of reading for read alouds and as a family. So these are some of our favorites. I started putting them on the table and I realized that we just have too many. Also, I want to apologize real quick for any lighting issues. It is a cloudy, kind of rainy day out, and so lighting's just kind of weird. First, I want to start with what my 4-year-old's favorites are, and that is the Little Blue Truck. She lives for the Little Blue Truck. Like literally, we have had to read this every single night at bedtime for a couple of years. So she owns every single one of them. So Little Blue Truck takes you along with his journey with his little friends, and it teaches good character too. It lets you know that being helpful and kind is always the way to be. So they really, really enjoy it, and then they have came out with Valentine, springtime, Halloween, and Christmas ones. So I went to the bookshelf to look what my 6-year-old's favorite ones are, and these are definitely not limited by age. When I say that we enjoy these books, it means the whole family does. But what is more according to age is what I'm showing you. So over here, I think is everybody's favorite growing up. So is If You Give the Mouse a Cookie. So we have If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, If You Give a Pig a Pancake, If You Give a Dog a Donut, If You Give a Cat a Cupcake, and If You Give a Moose a Muffin. So the kids really, really enjoy these ones, and they really enjoy that they're repetitive and that they are able to say the ending in each page. Another series I did not pull out all of them for is the Llama Llama series. So I think that this is a very, very fun series, and it's fun to see what mischief they get into and how they learn to work around it. Over here are 3 of them that my children definitely all love. So we have the Wonky Donkey, the Grumpy Monkey, and Interrupting Chicken. So these ones are super, super fun to read, and they have some really, really great illustrations. These 2 are our all-time favorites of my kids. Like, these have lasted through the years. We definitely read them every single week, and I don't see them going anywhere. And these are ones I definitely hope that they share with their own children when they grow up. So Giraffes Can't Dance has a rhymy, kind of happy feel to it and everything. And so we have a lot of fun with that one, which is so funny because I never heard of it until I randomly found it at a secondhand shop. Then down here is the Gruffalo, and that is another one that you have probably heard of a lot, but that is one of our favorite. The next section I want to share with you guys is what read alouds we do as a family and what ones have been our all-time favorite in this last year. So this definitely is not a complete list. A few of them that are missing here is The Wild Robot, The Midnight Gardener, and James and the Giant Peach. So we have enjoyed a lot of read alouds, and these ones I'm going to show a little bit closer. So one series I definitely want to touch on, which is both educational but super fun and interesting to read, are the Who Was series. So Who Was always focuses on one person, and it tells about their birth all the way through what they are known for. These are very simple and quick reads. It's something that my children can sit down and read on their own, or we can read as a family. So a lot of times when we're learning about these people in science or history, we end up grabbing the Who Was book, and we do it as a read aloud also. So this is the What Was and the Where Is series. So this is an extension of the Who Was series, and this is the same. When we are learning about some place or a specific item, we end up grabbing one of these books and we curl up, and we can get this done in 1 to 2 days. So these can be fun also if you are doing vacations. So when we took our Disney trip, we decided to read Where is Walt Disney World? And we also decided to read Who was Walt Disney? It's kind of fun knowing his background, his history, what made him make the park, and special little interesting facts about the park. A few series that we really like, one that is not pictured here, is the series of unfortunate events. They really think it's sad how those kids are being treated by their uncle, but at the same time, they like hearing about their mischievous ways to get out from under him. The other series that we are working our way through is the Chronicles of Narnia. So I've never personally read these, and so it's a very fun thing to sit down and experience them firsthand with my children. We've only gotten through book 2 so far. We kind of read a book and then we go on to a different book and then we come back to this series again. But the kids are so super excited to be picking up book 3, The Horse and His Boy, soon. So we love all the classics also. So Treasure Island is one of them that we ended up touching on this year. It was fun and interesting and definitely different than what we normally do with our read aloud times. A big focus that we've done in the last few months for our read aloud time is books that have movies that go along with them. So it's so interesting to read a book and then watch the movie and figure out which one you think is the best. And 9 times out of 10, I'm always going to be picking the book. So we do a whole bunch of different levels for our read aloud time, meaning I have such a huge array of ages for my kids. We've really enjoyed Charlotte's Web, Mr. Popper's Penguins, and very recently, The Indian in the Cupboard. I know part of my favorite part of public school was being able to have a movie day after reading one of the chapter books. Last but not least, for our read aloud times that we have done in the last few months is The Wild Robot is definitely one of the top on the list, but Wonder is also. So this book definitely captured our hearts. It has so many lessons for children to be able to talk about, and they really felt for Augie and really wanted to be his friend. So we decided to watch the movie for this one too, and I have to say the movie probably is the closest to the book of all of them that we have recently watched. So far my 11-year-old is about the only one who can consistently do independent reading time. So she does have assigned independent readings that she has to do through her schoolwork, but then she gets her own freedom of choice as to what she ends up loving. And 9 times out of 10, she's going to pick a comic book graphic novel. So a few of them that aren't shown here is Dog Man and Cat Kid comics, and she also loved the Babysitter's Club comic club. That one really stole her heart, and I know that she is very hopeful that they come out with more of them. Another series that she's really enjoyed is Smile Sisters Drama and Ghosts. So these are more comic series. She definitely reads these within an hour of getting them, but she has reread them multiple times. Another series that she has made her way through in this past year is Ivy and Bean. So this one is not a comic book, it is an actual chapter book, but she definitely makes her way through these and she has read them multiple times. One of my daughter's favorite, most recent books is The Land of Stories. So these are very thick chapter books, but she's definitely putting in the time. She either does the audiobook or she goes ahead and she reads these. So it is The Land of Stories, and it has a whole bunch of fairy tale characters in it that she absolutely loves. This is a 6-book series, just book 1 is being used right now. So as far as parenting books for homeschooling, there are so many that I could point you to, but I'm sure you've already heard so much about that, and I'm sure you've already gotten your hands on most of them. But the one that I highly suggest to people when they are struggling, when they have a kid with sensory issues or autism, any special needs type item, is the Out of Sync Child. So this book ended up coming into my life when one of my children was about 2 years old, and we were having a constant daily struggle. We were definitely not functioning as a family, and she was definitely not thriving in a daily lifestyle. So another mama ended up recommending this book to me, and I ended up reading it, and I've definitely looked back at it multiple times. It's very eye-opening when you think of the fact that your child is having such a hard time, and to really see the world from their perspective. And so it ends up saying what different ways are that you can help your child, how they could be feeling, different resources that you can end up utilizing and stuff. So I highly, highly suggest this book to a whole bunch of mamas. And like I said, I keep on referring back to it, and here we are years and years later, and I definitely feel like this book made a huge difference in our family's life. I think one quote that I end up remembering so much, and I don't recall if it's from this book, but it definitely makes me think of this book often, is that your child's not trying to give you a bad day, they are having a bad day. So I think when you start looking at things from their view and their perspective, it's when you end up making more progress. All right, so there you have it, some of our most favorite and cherished books. If this is something that you have enjoyed, please give this video a big thumbs up. Also make sure to hit that red subscribe button so that you don't miss all the upcoming homeschool planning, organization, purchasing, curriculum, flip-throughs, all those good things that all of us homeschool mamas love. I also have a whole bunch of cleaning, organization, and decluttering motivation on my channel to bring you guys so much motivation in your mom life.